Welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. I think you're part of the troop now. You made it 50 plus episodes with us. But you're going to get an insight, a dark insight, a deep insight, Collin's insight to Surf Ninjas tonight. 1993, Surf Ninjas, starring Collin's mind, and some people in this room. Hi, we're Rabbit Troop Sucks. As always, I'm Paul. Next to me is, as always, Mike and Lamar, and Collin is back. And I say this because we're going to be covering Surf Ninjas, and Collin basically noted to me on the side that this is a integral part of your childhood growing up, that you saw this movie many, many, many times.
Yeah, it's probably something that, the whole family would sit down and watch every other week, once a month, had it on VHS, and probably wore that thing out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many times do you think you've seen this movie then?
I mean, probably at least 20 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's astounding.
Yeah. It definitely there was definitely a piece of nostalgia that definitely kind of died a little bit inside after tonight's watching.
I didn't know that when I was sitting down with you. I mean, you probably could have quoted this movie like word for word. Huh?
A handful, I remembered. I definitely found a lot of I'm usually a pretty easy laugh to go with, but I definitely think I was laughing more than anyone else in the room.
If this was like a 20 plus viewing, do you have like another childhood movie that you're like, there might be a rival to Surf Ninjas?
Gosh, probably, sadly, 3 Ninjas.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about part 3 takes place at Elitch Gardens, so hey, Denver, Colorado, live recordings coming at you. So maybe we break into Elitch Gardens late at night. We record there like a seance.
I'm willing to break in and do a live recording at Elitch.
That just seems like lose for us. Like,
No,
it seems like us going to jail, and the Australian listener that we have is like, crikey, I can't help.
Well, it's lose now that you mentioned our plan.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll never do that. Elitch Gardens.
There we go.
That's more of a lakeside situation.
Their security is more lax. I think we can get away with that.
Their security is probably like 3 joints minimum. Then you get like a timer, like in a video game. You have like 5 minutes to scavenger hunt that place.
Do you want to really even break into Lakeside? I mean,
Kind of.
I would absolutely.
and how hard would that be?
Mike's willing to break into any part.
Anywhere you want to break into, I'm your guy.
All right.
Let's do it right
So
now.
after this, we're going to head downtown. Huh?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but before we break into a synopsis in this, I mean, I like this question. I mean, I've already noted on this podcast like 17 times. Like, I've watched Little Monsters probably like 100 plus times. It's definitely like a very important childhood movie. You guys, what are? I mean, like outside of like, please don't say like it was Star Wars. Like, we get it, like those movies. But like, what about like a non-mainstream film? Like, do you have like a childhood movie? We've talked about one that we will do that is a nightmare scenario that Mike has seen. That maybe Chris Brewer will join us for.
Mike, you want to go first?
I don't know what movie you're talking about. The movie that I've
For
seen.
Chris?
What?
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay, sorry. No, the movie that I've seen probably the most is probably one of the Ghostbusters. If I had to guess one, it might be 2 because I've seen 2 a fuck ton, even though it's not as good.
Yeah, I can't remember if we recorded when I was kind of poo-pooing on Ghostbusters 2 a little bit, but I love Ghostbusters 2. There are just moments of Ghostbusters 2 that is like, come on, like everything to do with the Statue of Liberty, that should have just not happened
No,
whatsoever.
that was stupid. But there were so many Ghostbuster 2 moments.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And we were talking that I look forward to this new Ghostbusters film that I guess is coming out at the end of this year, which is awesome for me. I'm in.
New Ghostbusters. How
I hadn't
about
heard
that?
about that until you said that earlier tonight.
Yeah, so apparently they've been filming it, and the story is like it continues on with Egon's family, and it's headed up more with Ernie Hudson as reprising Winston, and everyone else might have a cameo, but that's kind of, I think, all the public was told.
That's kind of awesome.
So it's
Yeah, that's awesome.
sticking
Yeah.
on the afterlife timeline.
Yeah,
of,
it's only going to keep going. They're all in New York. I mean, holy God, Ernie Hudson, yes. My wife and I just saw him with Woody Harrelson in Champions, and he was great. Ernie Hudson does not age whatsoever. Ernie Hudson is like built like a rock.
Yeah. Well, we just saw him in No Escape.
Ehud.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
boom. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Lamar, what's yours?
Yeah.
What have you seen more than anything?
Oh, a movie that in the childhood I've seen more than any other. You know what? Probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not really the deep childhood. I think I was 14 or 15 when it came out, but just a big Turtles fan. It was the 90s. I was seeing a lot of movies at that time, just going out to a lot of movies. 14, getting money finally. I can go out on my own. And I went with my friends to the theaters at least maybe 5 or 6 times when it was in a theater. And then on home movies, just like you, Collin, with this movie. We used to watch it every day for months and months on end. I still do it to this day. I just love that movie so much.
Part of Lamar and I's bonding friendship is when he told me that he's like, I'm a big Ninja Turtles fan, and we were both simultaneously able to quote scene for scene.
That's true.
It was definitely a big bonding moment.
And we did have a bonding moment over that. It strengthened my bond with a lot of my friends. I think all of my friends have seen that movie at least a couple times. We can bond over it.
Collin, have you seen the 1990 Ninja Turtles film?
Absolutely.
Damn right.
It's a classic.
I still argue we got to do it at some point. I know Mike noted that like for a lot of people it's not like it wouldn't be counted as like obscure. Like, hey everyone, if I didn't say like we are a podcast about obscure, overlooked, and sometimes forgotten about films. And I do agree that for like our generation, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Ninja Turtles. But there's been so many new iterations of Ninja Turtles. I really feel if you're not in our like age group, people are like, what are you talking about? I just saw that like the Nickelodeon run was like 150 episodes. I was like, oh my God. That was like not even too long ago. And then there's like a new version now. It's crazy.
Wow.
Like there'll be new iterations till we die.
I'd do it. I mean, I love that movie.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
I remember when we talked kind of just off set about reviewing it, and I could agree with you. It's not really obscure movie. It's kind of reviewable, but it's not my absolute most favorite movie of all time. It's not the most perfect movie. It's just a core childhood memory movie that I have that every scene just registers with me. I can quote that movie line for line, and I just love it so much. I believe we have a connection with Ernie Reyes Jr. with Turtles, not with this movie, but with the other one.
Now with the 1990s Turtles.
Well, actually, he's in the 93, or it's in Turtles too.
Yes, Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
What did you learn from the Ooze?
It was a secret.
Can't tell you.
I can't tell you.
You can't tell me, or is it a secret?
A little of both. We'll
Nice.
go with both.
Okay, well, we're in it. 1993, Surf Ninjas, and I'm going to load up a little synopsis, a little quick one. 2 boys learn from a mysterious warrior that they are the heirs of the throne. We'll talk about the place and the monarchy and a lot of other things. I'm actually reading other things. We'll kind of lead you to it. But yeah, it's basically kind of like any kind of old orphan story. Like I was adopted. You later find out that your family life is totally fine, but it's upgraded because you now live in a sweet, like island kingdom, or so you think you're going to. But also, Rob Schneider's in this film, so that's a thing that happens. I jokingly said Collin is not going to be the only returning guest who's like only here for Rob Schneider films. That'd be lunacy.
He is our senior Rob Schneider correspondent.
Gosh,
That's not a place you want to be.
I would totally do it though.
Admittedly, I did not know Rob Schneider was in this movie.
The Schneid.
Yeah, and I've not seen this movie until tonight.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah. What's your immediate takeaway of this film, Laura?
I wish I'd probably seen it back in the day. I definitely would have appreciated it more because it just encompasses 1993 to me. It's wacky and zany. It just feels like a bunch of screenplay people went in who just threw shit at the wall.
Well, so here's the crazy thing. So I saw this movie, I think like roughly soon when it went to video. And I did not overall like this film when I first saw it. And I know it totally bombed in the box office. I think there's a lot of complaints. I think probably the biggest complaint was Rob Schneider's in it. He's not SNL funny like he is. I have a very different perspective watching this since 1993. So 30 years later, I actually had more fun with this. And I think my big takeaway is this movie had bad press and was not billed correctly. This was not a Rob Schneider film. This is not anything adjacent to SNL. This was a completely different thing, and I think they tried to spin it as something else. And so when people saw it in the theater, they're like, "Oh, this isn't like SNL funny." No. Also, side note, the one thing I wanted to note outside of who we are and everything, happy summer. It just became summer, so we wanted to open with a surf-tastic kind of film. Mm-hmm. So, boom, summer in Denver, and I guess the rest of the world, but Denver. Hi.
Yeah. This was a good idea for an opening summer movie because it encapsulates summer. It's just surf ninjas having a lot of fun in the sun with ninjas. What's more summer than ninjas?
I don't know.
Is there like an ice cream flavor, like a Ben and Jerry's, like summer with the ninjas?
If not, there should be immediately.
That's amazing.
When this movie came out, I remember like trailers for it, and I had no interest in seeing it. I wasn't into Rob Schneider back in the day. I was into SNL back in the day. 90s through like 90 through 95 was just my SNL jam.
Yeah, that was the heyday.
And I didn't mind Rob Schneider in SNL, nor do I mind him outside of that in movies. There's some movies that are just, I don't know, kind of questionable with his roles. But overall, as a person, I don't mind Rob Schneider at all.
Yeah. I think, honestly, they should have billed this as a Tone Loc movie. Because that's...
They should have done it and given him more time.
You know, so I've seen this
movie. I don't
movie.
remember what happens to Tone Loc at the end of the film.
Doesn't matter.
Does he have an ending?
I think he's just there.
Yeah.
Is he there actually? Even?
Yeah, that's what I'm at. Does he have closure?
I don't know.
Holy shit.
I don't think so. I know we're working backwards, but the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I don't recall seeing him at all.
Well.
So you had mentioned that you had seen this movie 20 years ago, maybe more. I think I've seen this movie maybe once or twice. I didn't remember anything about it. There was a Tone Loc line in the middle of the movie that kind of brought me back online with this. I was like, I remember this line. So Tone Loc is the center point of this movie for me.
Very nice.
But oh my god, I don't think he has an ending. This is going to drive me crazy.
We'll talk about it. He was probably there.
To be fair, he really didn't have a beginning either.
I agree with you on that.
He's just kind of maybe an afterthought. Maybe they filmed this movie and then brought him in afterwards, and they filmed scenes later. That's kind of how it feels like.
They just like copy pasted
That's
him in
the
there.
funky coma, dude.
He filmed all his parts like against a green screen by himself.
It doesn't feel like he's spliced in, but it does feel like an afterthought of him being in a movie.
That's wild.
He's just like
thing.
a plot device. They needed a sled for Adam to go down the hill.
If you know what, Collin, you pieced it together because I can't think of any other reason why he's in this movie at all.
Okay.
I think that's the most important plot point actually that he had.
In my mind, Tone Loc is also a detective in Ace Ventura.
Damn it, he is. Yeah.
So in my mind, I was just playing this off as it was the same character.
You know, it's true.
It's the same universe.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
Around the same year, maybe. Is that
I mean, actually, hear me out. This is a missed opportunity. So we have, I almost said Craig Robinson. We have Daniel Craig. We have Daniel Craig as a detective in these movies, like Knives Out, like this trilogy. Mm-hmm. Tone Loc could have been in his own trilogy, working with a pet detective, working with surf ninjas, working with damn Scooby-Doo and the gang. It could have been anything, man. Tone Loc, I apologize for any jokes we may make. That would have been badass. That would have been like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon unfolding.
Tone Loc is also the best actor in this movie.
I won't argue.
You're going to pin him against Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
Half this movie, I'm pretty sure Leslie Nielsen was in a room. Like there's like 90% of it is him in a room.
No, Leslie Nielsen filmed all of his scenes in 45 minutes on one day and then left.
And it's kind of been like the leftover scenery of the Goonies. Like what do we got left? We got a smoke machine, a little water. It's my
Great,
room.
yeah.
It is.
Whose telephone is this? I like it.
Yeah.
Put this in here. I will go outside once in this samurai, and we'll get there.
Damn.
So yeah, we open up. Collin, I hope we're not like poo-pooing on this movie. I had a lot of fun watching
Yeah,
this.
this
So
was
like,
great.
I am saying this in like a weird perspective. This movie is PG. So like, I actually didn't think it was that until like a couple of days ago, and I was like, oh my god, this movie's PG.
What did you think it was?
I thought maybe PG-13. I thought
Okay.
there might have been like maybe a little more adult humor or like a couple shits thrown in there. There is not, but there is crazy. People die in this film. People totally die. I know in my heart people are murdered in this film. They just won't gut up to it. But people are killed by other people in this film.
But there's no blood.
Yeah, I guess
That's true.
that's the real difference.
Yeah.
There's a dick grabbing scene.
There is a dick grabbing scene.
Yeah. There is.
I don't know if that's gonna bump it up to the PG-13. It
No,
didn't.
it's like
So you're okay with one dick grabbing scene?
it's like the F-bomb with PG-13. You can do it once. You can have one dick grab in a PG.
And it wasn't the full, like, you don't see it. I mean, he's grabbing it through his
Well,
clothes.
he's grabbing his own dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean,
Transition,
Collin and I kind of just looked away.
I'm wondering how long the dick grabbing conversation is going to go on.
I can demonstrate if you want right now.
Collin, I could just isolate their vocals just to like really like pump up the volume when we mix this down.
You can use that for a
hope so.
sample and like do it like a remix.
Sure. Like, so we could send it to the remaining members of the Fat Boys.
Okay.
Like our 1 year anniversary of their episode isn't too far off.
Oh, nice. What are we gonna do for that?
1 year anniversary.
The show or just the
No, when we
disorderly.
did Disorderlies.
Oh, I mean, we did talk about making a music video, like Rabbit Troop Sucks music video.
Yeah.
I think when I wrote the description, I said no. Like we talked about it, and I just wrote no right afterward. But maybe I could open it up to no question
It's
mark.
been a year and there's a lot of whiskey. Who knows?
Yeah, we could do Crush Groove. That's the only other Fat Boys movie I
Yeah.
can think of.
I
mean,
yeah,
sometimes-
And then I think we found another one by that director.
Oh, yeah.
And that, I think we maybe like wound up seeing at some point in time in our lives. I don't know.
remember.
But
can't recall.
But in Surf Ninjas, this movie opens up with surfing.
Yeah.
And I said, I forgot there's a surfing component in this movie because there's really not a big one until much later in the film, which is integral to this film. This is the biggest qualm I have with this film. I do wish there's more surfing. I just love surf films. I have another surf movie idea that maybe we'll watch because it's a summer session. One I have not seen, but I'll talk about it with all of you guys off air. But I just love watching surf movies. Like the original Point Break, you could just like literally mute that movie. If I'm just watching the surf scenes, I'm totally fine with it. Just there's something about just watching like cool surf scenes, totally fine. I wish there was more.
Interesting.
Cool.
Why?
I
Have I not said this before? I know Lamar is very aware
no, I
of
don't.
this.
I don't think I know this about you. Also, I think watching people surf is really boring.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mean just like I want the highlight reels. Like let's make that abundantly clear. I don't want the like 1 hour like, hey, this person didn't get on a wave, but they did. I know I'm being like really snotty about it, but like you show me like cool clips of people like seriously surfing waves. I follow this on social media, like videos like this. Lamar knows, like I've watched like Blue Crush. I will watch any movie that involves surfing at any point in time. Yeah, totally.
Wow.
I'm not sure I could distinguish the difference between standing up on a surfboard and like a really difficult wave or standing up on a surfboard on like a medium difficulty wave or less.
Oh yeah, I don't know anything like that. Just I don't need the like I'm sitting around waiting for the wave videos. Like clearly the social media I follow is like the 12-second clip of like a professional surfboarder. This isn't like something I follow like some random Joe's like I took a picture. It's like these are like Olympian surfboarders like doing like super cool things. Like I could watch that all day.
So you're good so long as someone is standing up on the surfboard and riding the wave in.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about this? For an extended period of time. Like not like a millisecond, but like someone like actually like gets in like the tunneling wave and is able to like ride that out. Like and then you get the like the those like professional cameras following him in. Like it's just beautiful, and I was like, oh my god, like
Sure, yeah.
the stamina it would take just to like jump up on that board, be able to do that. It's crazy. Like I don't know. I just really love watching it.
Yeah, that's the part of the
Nice,
surfing
thank you.
I could get behind. And like, I know for the most part, surfing is more of the smaller waves and just kind of not really interesting looking, but with the big waves and the guys riding on the coming down, that's what I can get behind that.
Yeah, I mean, my reality in all of this is, you know, if my family and I ever go to a beach, and my wife is very aware of this, I would love to take like a surf lesson or two, like over a day, 2 or 3. If I ever was successfully able to like be the person in the video I just told you I don't want to be in, like I wrote it for a millisecond, like that's like a realistic goal. And for the love of God, I want my surf instructor to be Paul Rudd from Saving Sarah Marshall. Because that would just like, I feel that would be like the surf instructor one I in the core of my heart want and need. Like someone's like, I don't give a shit, but I'll like make sure you don't drown. I'm like, that's the guy I need. Like he's eating a sandwich on a board and he's just making sure I don't drown. I'm cool. That's done.
So, yeah.
That's the 3 ninja way.
Yeah.
So while we find out that these boys are surfing, these 2 boys, Adam and Johnny, there is a ninja assassin or assassins tracking these boys down. And one by one, a mysterious eye-patched man is taking them out left and right. That's what I said. People are getting murdered in this film.
I want to just mention in the beginning of this, when the ninjas are introduced, I wrote down a literal dump truck full of ninjas pulls up.
That's how they get around. They're like the Ninja Turtles. Or the Foot Clan, rather.
And
Don't they have a dump truck? A trash truck?
They have like a big van.
Are they,
Something like that, yeah. Like a trash truck.
okay.
I was thinking about the uniforms of these ninjas.
Yeah, I was gonna mention
they're really striking. I've noted this in a lot of ninja movies before, like especially when it's like American Ninja. It's like they go out in a white suit to be like, I'm the American Ninja. I'm like, dude, the purpose of this is to hide in kind of like an incognito way. So even if you're a day ninja, you try to blend in. They're coming in like zigzag, like purple and like blue.
Yeah, it's like navy camo.
is
They
navy
all have
camo.
like David Bowie patches on their chest.
I told you I dug those patches. I want
Yeah.
a shirt or a bomber jacket with that on it.
Yeah.
In defense of the ninjas, no one seems to notice them.
No,
I
no.
agree. I totally agree. This is a societal problem, not a ninja thing. So I guess touche on that because, yeah, I've always complained like, why are you dressed in white? Oh, didn't we say that in like Miami Connection, Mike? I was like, it's like in the middle of like the night, this guy just like jumps out in a white suit, and you're like, yeah, dude, like I totally see. Like, don't be different. Like, still wear black or something. I don't know, wear a headband. Differentiate yourself in different ways. A calling sign, cat call to your friends, meowing.
They're catcalling each other like, you got nice tits. Hey.
They never expect it. No. In Miami Connection, it would work.
It would work.
Based on the rough and tumble biker crew we saw in that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So with 2 brothers. Adopted
They're adopted
by
brothers.
Mac.
Yeah, we meet Mac in the morning because the brothers are listening to Van Halen, and Mac comes down and says, "No Van Halen before I've had my coffee."
Is that a rule we need at Rabbit Troop Sucks? No Van Halen before coffee. What would the equivalent be? Like for Mike, you're drinking tequila. You guys are drinking bourbon.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to make that a rule. You want Van Halen.
Yeah, I
Well,
want
what I'm
Van
saying,
Halen.
what I'm saying, is like, what would be the Van Halen equivalent to our bourbon?
That's a good question.
No shins before booze.
We can
Could
just
work.
stop it. No shins.
You don't like any of the shins,
No, I don't know. It's fine, I guess.
so no shins for Mike. So
So Mike, he just hasn't had enough booze yet.
Yeah, probably not.
Mike, what about like no 80s hip hop
But I want 80s hip hop all the time.
before your booze?
All the time.
No.
That's what I want to wake up to it. I want it before, during, and after the booze.
I think the father's trying to just say like you're wasting it. You're not maximizing my power. Like give me my coffee drug, and then we were gonna rock at Van Halen. Like,
Okay.
don't waste it. So it's like a compliment. So what I'm saying is like you need a little nip of the nectar,
I see.
and then all of a sudden you're ready for 80s hip hop. Raw bass.
That makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
He's not internationally known. Do any of you guys know that?
But he's known to rock the microphone.
What kind of microphone he used?
There's no way of telling.
Nice.
One of those like Toys R Us like plugged into your like cassette recorder type microphones.
Yeah.
The good old days.
It was a good old day.
Yeah, but so Mac doesn't want the Van Halen.
No.
And he also isn't super stoked on Rob Schneider wearing his underwear in the kitchen making him an omelet.
How the hell old is Rob Schneider supposed to be in this movie?
He's
17.
Yeah, they said 11th grade.
Oh, but did they associate him with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god.
He specifically said that he was in the 11th grade. And he must have stayed back quite a few years. Because
He's no dummy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, he was 30 in this movie.
Oh, yes, he was 30.
I mean, well, maybe 29, like, give or take filming schedule.
Sure.
30-ish.
Yeah. He does not look like a high school child.
They dyed his hair.
He did dye it.
It made him look a little younger.
I could see
not
him
really.
easily passing for 17, 18. He's just
I could see him easily passing for 29.
he's just the quirky substitute teacher that walks in.
Yeah.
His lack of sideburns this entire movie was kind of distracting as
Ooh,
well.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, no, he was.
Really?
It's like his face ombre'd into his hair.
It did look weird, but
Is there a shirt we can get that to Photoshop setting?
that is a great quote. Damn.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear you use the word ombre.
Well, you learn a little something watching a couple reality shows, and sometimes you want to ombre your hair into your face.
Yeah.
It's not something I would say to someone that was touching me, but
I haven't seen Rob Schneider in a while, but when I remember seeing him is
because
around the same
he
time.
ombre'd into existence.
He did. It was around this time, the 1990 to 1995, in all these movies, like Surf Ninjas and Demolition Man and Deuce Bigelow, and he has a distinct look. And then this film, it's really off-putting.
So
lack of
Collin
it.
brought up Demolition Man. Collin, is
Judge
Demolition
Dredd.
Oh, Judge Dredd.
Judge-
That's right.
yeah.
Judge Dredd. Is Judge Dredd with Stallone a movie we should do on this podcast?
Totally. Especially with the new one that came out. A lot of people shit on the Stallone Judge
Yeah,
Dredd.
they
But
do.
in my opinion, Stallone, his voice, the way that he says certain lines is the superior Dredd.
That movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in for that, clearly.
Yeah.
And I think Schneider in that couldn't really be done a different way.
No.
It really has more of a comic book feel. Like, reading any comic book, dialogue's supposed to be kind of cheesy and goofy. It fits really well.
Armani made the costumes for it.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Which is fucking dope.
I loved Rob Schneider in Grandma's Boy. Rob Schneider gets so many great cameos, and I think it's really hard that like when we see like a Rob Schneider driven film, it's often problematic. But I mean, Home Alone 2, are you kidding me? Like I'd take that Rob Schneider cameo every which way. But yeah, he's funny all the time. So I'm like, you can do it. Is like so many Adam Sandler films.
He's great in small doses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in this, he was a really quippy a lot of the time. To introduce new scenes, he always had something silly to say, and I think really it played okay in this.
Well, he was supposed to be a moron, which
Yeah.
I think helped.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
he worked it well. It's just
We were all
It came
convinced.
so effortlessly. To
it's
him.
the right amount of Rob Schneider, in my opinion, for this movie.
Yeah.
This movie's kind of weird because I feel it's like this Pan-Asian film crew who's trying to put a movie together and highlight like their culture and some like fun actors who have like been established here and there. And then they kind of use, and I don't feel it's like them, I just feel it's like Hollywood's like, we like this idea, but we're going to throw Rob Schneider in this. And that's going to be his movie, and that's kind of how we're going to build it. And I feel almost if you took Rob Schneider out or tempered him a little bit and clearly advertised this movie differently, it would have been, I think, a more of a successful movie. I think people would look back on this more fondly, but there's just like some weird things that happen. But now rewatching it, like I'm totally fine with it. But remembering how this movie came out, it was just very weird. And then everyone I think, of my age was like Leslie Nielsen, Police Squad, and Naked Gun, and that's kind of how we're used to him. And then we're watching this, and it's just like what, like he's kind of like a forgotten thought, not as forgotten as Tone Loc apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, you're totally right. Like, this is 100% a '90s comedy relief thing. Like, even as best friend, he doesn't add anything, but also he doesn't detract anything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have the best friend that you have to rescue for some reason. He doesn't even do that. Like, you could totally erase him, and he wouldn't make any impact on the plot or story at all.
Yeah, no.
He's a great fit as the comic relief too. I'm trying to picture other people trying to fill this role, like a Chris Farley. Yeah, or like Dana Carvey or somebody, and I just can't really see it.
What if this was the Beverly Hills Ninja crossover that you wanted? It could have been Chris Farley.
I was going to bring that up because in the 90s, we really went like ninja crazy, didn't we?
Yeah. I love Beverly Hills Ninja.
I don't like the idea, Lamar, that you just thought we went ninja crazy.
I mean,
I think we became
really?
ninja open. We became
ninja aware.
Yeah, we it was like a sexual awakening with ninjas in a culture, and I appreciated it. Like, thank God, about time. Like, crazy is not the adjective I would be using to describe the situation that defined my life.
How about ninja blossoming?
I love it.
All right.
I'll take that. That's the title of my diary.
I will not open that diary, so you found a perfect title for it.
That's fine. I will send you the audiobook. It will be sectioned off, or I will be sending you piecemeal physical mail.
Damn it.
So take that. So hopefully write us at Rabbit Troop Sucks at any point in time and let us know your ninja blossoming. We've all been there. It's a different kind of blossoming. It's not like Blossom the show.
No.
It could be.
I don't want it to be that.
It could be that. Well, I'm going to jump in. Shortly after we acknowledge that ninjas are tracking these boys down, we're back at their father's restaurant, and basically we have a ninja assault come in. And we get the eye-patched man at the door, and the father recognizes him and tells him to guard the boys and run off. And the boys are very hesitant about this, the older being Johnny and the younger being Adam. And they do go with him, and he's like, run, run, run. And the father is basically taken hostage. I mean, we later learn that to be true, but he is surrounded by many ninjas. But there are some cool fight scenes before they all run off. I really do like a lot of the martial arts in this film. I know, Collin, you said you liked Three Ninjas. If I were to make a comparison that these are both family films, I like the martial arts scenes much better in this film. I think they're a little more dynamic. Maybe just because usually it happens with more adults in this.
I think so too. I think, in this, they're super cheesy. They're always they always have some kind of hi-ya thing going on every single time anyone makes any kind of physical movement.
Yeah.
But, the movements themselves are actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's decently choreographed. And yeah, there's a lot of high odds. Also, eye patch guy, Spatch or Spitch? Zatch, whatever the fuck his name is.
Do we have anyone who's on Rabbit Troop Sucks? We have Paladin Mike over here. Is anyone going to take over the Zatch?
I refuse.
I don't know if I could do it.
No. Yeah, no one in this room.
He does the high odds, but he also says the word of whatever he's using as a weapon at the time, mixed with a hi-ya. So at one point he's hitting someone with a skateboard and he goes, skateboarder!
So is this like the equivalent of like Kirby and Nintendo? Like it consumes its product and becomes that product in a way? Like,
yes.
I love it.
He is Kirby.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We did kind of jump ahead a little bit. I don't know if you want to go back and touch on the school
we missed
scenes.
like 30 minutes of the movie, but
that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know that we need.
We could go back in any sequence.
We're missing the Barbara Ann introduction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to touch on how goofy this whole scene is because they really establish I already forgot the oldest kid's name.
Johnny,
yeah. So they establish he's kind of a bum. He doesn't really care about school or anything other than maybe surfing.
Bro, he just wants to surf.
But somehow he established his position in school as introducing some incredibly important figure. Somehow he tricked, whoever had authority to take this position.
I think they were, because it was the Bobberan was like the monk or whatever that they were on.
And when Johnny's introduced as like one of our Pan-Asian students
think-
wants to introduce him.
I
And
think he's
like,
the only Asian kid they could find. They're like, you
Yeah.
know what, you do this.
and
That's exactly what I was
And
thinking.
that weird teacher's like, yeah, you're gonna like this kid, even though he like basically threatens them and like, oh away.
I think you're right. I think they found the one Asian kid. They're like, he promised to do it in the ethnic style. That was the quote that they used.
So they sing Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys. And how the hell did Johnny get these other kids to agree to any of this?
Drugs.
If someone problem solved.
Yeah.
Because my thought was, if someone approached me like, hey, I didn't do my homework, but do you want to sing next to me? And in front of the whole school, you're going to sing and snap along to this song. I'd be like, dude, you could go screw off. Like, I will take the detention. I will take the 0. But if you think I'm going to publicly go and sing with you on a stage, like, go to hell. That would not be for me.
So maybe a little underhanded, like, you acapella dorks are never going to get your chance. I'm going to provide you a chance. Let's do
Fucking
this.
nerds.
I know all your dark shit. I will blackmail the shit out of you. Mailers are going out. You think the secretaries at the school don't work for me? I own the Xerox machine. then you start snapping along and singing Barbara Ann. Well, and drugs, as Mike noted. Lots of drugs.
It's a darker Surf Ninjas, but I like it.
It's the surf ninjas this generation needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what any of these guys are doing now.
Drugs.
So Lamar, I don't know if you're aware of this. So the lead, Johnny, we noted that he was also in Ninja Turtles 2. He was in a full season, I think like 23 to 24 episodes of the show Sidekicks. Are you aware of this?
Before we went into this,
You are aware of our mutual friend who loves Sidekicks, right?
yes.
Okay.
Wait, let's backtrack for a second. There's a show of sidekicks.
No, not the Jonathan Brandis film
Okay.
that we should totally review
Oh
on
my
this.
God, okay.
Yes.
There is a show from, is it like 89, 90? Like right in that area called Sidekicks.
Yeah.
It's before this. Yeah, it's like this dude's doing martial arts and there's like a detective.
Okay.
You know the old story.
But no Jonathan Brandis.
No.
Okay.
No. But we should totally do Sidekicks.
I do sidekicks.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
That's how you do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's an assembly and we make fun of this guy.
Yeah, the Bob Aran is not pleased.
Yeah, but then we go home, Ninja Battle, and now the kids are with Zatch. And where's Daddy? Where's my daddy? That's what no one said in the movie. But
Yeah,
in
no.
my head,
In
that's
your
what
head.
everyone says.
Everyone does say.
It'd be alarming if my daughter said that to me in that way.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
But so this is where is this where Zatch starts kind of telling the kids what's up, like you're princes, and there's like a lot of exposition.
I know, they're like at
That's
the
what I
beach
got.
and they're talking. They're like, we need to get my dad. And he's like, nah,
Yeah, like, we don't. We're good.
nah, bruh.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're cool. You're like the Highnesses, but I'm going to take you to this dope restaurant. We're going to get some food and I'll tell you more about it.
Yeah. This is
That's
also
how I like people breaking it down to me at restaurants.
Yeah.
this is where the younger brother, I think, referred to the bad ninjas as a bunch of Quimbies.
I have that.
Yeah. Can we say that? Is that like an insensitive thing to say?
I have no idea what that is.
I've never heard that.
Yeah,
either.
I will also take the I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Did you just say a racist term?
I might have.
Did we have to edit that out?
Yeah. You know what? Leave it in. I'll take it.
You damn Quinn.
I don't know what it means.
Yeah, I'll get in on it.
This is like when Lamar tried to play Yentl in Scrabble. I was on his team, so I was very enthused about the situation.
Did you? Did I get away with that?
I think we got away with it.
all right.
I think the problem was that the dude we were playing with also started throwing in Spanish words, and then things got chaotic.
that's
We're like, what's going
night.
on? And then, I don't know. Then I think people were drinking tequila and everything was great. And that was fine. And I think we got away with lentil. So I think we all won that
Yeah.
night.
But yeah, so there, the Quimby's aside, and we have a flashback to where Zatch is telling them about the island where they're from, Poontang, or what is it called?
Patusan.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Patusan.
sure it's not that.
Okay, whatever. And it was, it's clearly just Thailand.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't want to say it earlier in the summary. Like the Patusani people, like this clearly fictional place, it is absolutely Thailand. Like I wanted to get more into the exposition of this. It is yes, again, very fictional. But they are the heirs. These two brothers are the heirs to the Patusan islands, or like the areas,
whatever,
of very
yeah.
massive islandy like structures.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah, but yeah, they go to this restaurant.
They meet Gumby.
I love that joke. This is Kwambe. They're like, oh, is he Poke's friend?
That was pretty good. Is this where we meet the girl? Is she Gumby's daughter?
I think that's a little later, maybe.
I don't think she's related to Gumby, but they all know each other.
Wasn't he like, no, you're supposed to marry my daughter?
Yeah, it was.
It is
She's
his
Gumby's daughter.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
You know what?
So did I, Paul. Holy shit.
What we can take away from that is Gumby fucks, because this guy is like 90 years old and his daughter is a teenager.
That's true. Yeah.
What are you saying? Gumby likes to roll.
Gumby likes to,
Gumby is, serving up in the kitchen like he's serving it up in the bedroom.
He does, yeah. He serves up all the
We do get a tour of the kitchen, as I noted as we're walking through, and
the melon table.
Holy God, yeah. This whole scene made me super hungry. So he's like, let me take you through the back of my kitchen. First and foremost, there are probably 15 people in the back of this kitchen. I was like, oh my God, like how big is this restaurant? And one of these huge prep stations has probably 14 watermelons amongst other fruits on it. That was great. I'd be there all day. They would fire me on day one.
This is a really elaborate looking kitchen.
Yeah, they'd be like, you walked in and you weigh like 10 pounds more and you stole for watermelons. They'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Gumby, I did.
Yeah, but
Gumby doesn't like that.
The restaurant gets attacked by these shitty ninjas.
Well, that's what ninja do.
I believe the cops are called, and this is where we first encountered Tone Loc, Detective Tone Loc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's concerned about those kids. He's concerned about the boys, and he wants to take them into like protective custody or something.
Yeah, but he's being a big old weirdo about the father. He's like, well, so they get to the restaurant, and he's like, well, so I see someone broke in. Maybe your father just split.
Yeah.
And Johnny's like, yeah, my father wouldn't run away. He loves us. Or maybe Adam says that.
Yeah.
And
he's like, but he might have.
Yeah,
done. I don't know.
Yeah, he might have, but maybe I believe you, kid. Like, why would you just assume that like your father ran off? Like, okay, take ninjas out of this. We had a restaurant break-in, and we ran off, and we called the police. Well, your dad's gone, kid.
Yeah, no, he's never coming back.
Like, this was his chance, kid. You suck, and he's out.
Yeah. So
it's set up.
But so he wants to kind of like take him with him, but instead he leaves him in the custody of their uncle, who is actually
Does he leave him in custody?
He leaves him in the custody, of his uncle, who is just Rob Schneider, dressed as a fat Scottish man with a Hitler mustache.
The shit is going on?
I don't know.
That threw me off for a second.
Yeah,
but
here's the problem. I think this is ridiculous, and I'm super offended that this wasn't Norm Macdonald. And if it was, problem solved. And that's who it should have been.
Because he stood doing it.
Sure.
he could have pulled it off, I will admit.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone in this generation of SNL cast is going to be doing Scottish accents, it should have been Mike Myers kind of thing.
That would have been nice.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I also like Tone Loc sees this, and at first I thought he was like, these kids like aren't fooling me, but apparently
he bought it.
And then he goes to the two cops who are, providing security in their cop car for the kids. He's like, hey, just watch these kids all night because, they're kids alone. I'm like, do you need to say this? like, all right. Like,
No,
I was
Scottish uncles here. It's
yeah, well, I wasn't gonna do that until you reminded me. I was just gonna go.
Oh yeah, we're gonna leave. Like, kids seem fine.
Stay the night. What are you talking about? That was like 20 more minutes, and I was on like clock.
Well,
like Ferris wheel up the street. I'm like over there.
Yeah. Well, they may have done because those cops got killed immediately
Oh, yes.
by ninjas. Well, okay. Also, I don't even know how to.
PG. That's what I told you. PG.
Yeah. Well, no, PG. I don't even know how to bring this up. So while the kids are inside, what's the little one's name?
Adam.
Adam pulls out a Game Gear.
Yeah, Sega Game Gear.
Game Gear. Battery life of 18 and a half seconds.
Yeah, side note about Collin. Sorry to cut Mike off. Collin asked about the Game Gear later on. I owned a Sega Game Gear.
As did I.
The battery life is, like, honest to God, I think it took 8 AA batteries, and it would probably give you 2.5 to 3 hours maximum off that.
I think that's being generous.
Yeah, and so basically anyone who owned a Game Gear, you plug that right in. Like, it came with it like a plug-in extension. The batteries were a total joke. And then they even have like the extended, you could buy the extra like travel battery. Maybe it gave you another hour and a half for like $50.
I can't even imagine. And it was already clunky to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
It's 3 times the size of a Game Boy.
The version I bought was a Game Gear. It came with 2 games and that extended battery and cable. And it, honest to God, comes in like a small, and if anyone knows about this, it was like very popular. It came with it. It was like a small briefcase you would carry with it. You're like, oh my God. Like, it was a whole system you got to take with it.
It was. But so Adam's playing this thing, and the game that he's playing is just his life that's happening around him. For some reason that's never really explained.
That game sucks.
It does suck. So he's like, I thought this was a different level. And he's playing a game where ninjas kill cops in a car outside of his house. He's like, this is weird.
The game he thought he was playing was called Shinobi.
Yeah, he thought he was playing Shinobi.
Even though later I know he has straight up columns in the back of the game. Columns is the Sega version of Tetris. Straight up columns.
Yeah.
And then later in the movie, he talks about how he loves this level. He's like, oh, I know this level.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I love this level. Oh, I beat my high score.
Yeah, this kid is seeing into the future via his Game Gear. All throughout the movie.
As you do.
And no one is questioning this.
Do you think he saw in the future that the Sega company collapsed and now only makes video games? Because if you saw that, you would have saved Sega a lot of hassle.
Yeah, someone should have told him or asked him.
He should have saw those visions.
But, so he's seeing this all happen. Zatchmo, or whatever the fuck his name is, shows
It's Zatchmo.
Yeah. He shows up to save the kids from the ninjas once again. And does briefly, and then he just blows up their house for good measure.
Yeah, this is crazy. So ninjas are breaking into his house, and so he turns the gas on the stove and lights, what was it, birthday candles?
It was like a cactus candle.
Yeah, or something, and walks out, and he's talking to Rob Schneider and other people, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get out of here. And Rob Schneider's like, it's so weird about the gas. You could have exploded. Ba-boom! Explosion of the house. And what was the exact quote? It was like I have it somewhere like there like I had no other choice. That was Zatch's quote. Like I had no other choice.
There were too many ninjas in it.
So the only thing you now own in life is what you are wearing. You might have a wallet on you. It's the 90s. You don't have a cell phone. If you have keys, who cares? They belong to nothing, and your little brother's in the same situation. Dope, dude.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that at this point, I think they have the girl in tow.
Oh yeah,
she's with him at this point. Yeah, we're not really doing great here.
It's fine.
No, she's with him because
Surf Ninjas is like an experience more than a direct narrative.
She's the bride to be, according to Gumby. And so to backtrack a second, when Gumby wheels her out for him, they're having like this banquet dinner, and she comes out with like a veil over her face, and there's a lot of like she's gonna be ugly jokes like. Bro, if she's wearing a veil, you've got to bail. And the other one was like, if you can't see your face, you got to
pick up the pace.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then Rob Schneider tries to riff it. He's like, if she's wearing a mask.
I think he just literally said, I can't think of anything.
No, he's like, she's probably not very attractive.
No,
that's what it was.
Also, when the ninjas battle in that weird scene, Adam is using his Game Gear to like use items, but like it doesn't make sense. So he could select several items, and one of them is octopus for 500 points. So he selects it in the Game Gear, but then in real life grabs an octopus out of a fish tank and puts it on a ninja's head, but then looks at the Game Gear and goes, cool, I got 500 extra points. And I'm like, That shit is good. This is the worst game you've ever played in your life.
It is.
Like, take that, and then that's how the Wii was born. People are like, people want to get active with video games.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I think a really important part of this narrative is just really how bad all the evil ninjas are.
They're terrible.
They're
These are
probably the worst ninjas I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
I don't know who trained these guys, but it wasn't number one man, that's for sure.
Yeah, and they do not have the Miami connection.
They don't.
Nice.
But so, is this where we get on the boat to Pound Town? What the fuck is this place called?
Poontang. Patusan.
Patusani? Or Patusan?
Okay, yeah, this is where they get on the boat to Patusan, yeah?
Yeah, they tried to get on the boat. Tone Loc told them no. They beat him up a little bit.
Yeah, and well, he just goes on the boat with him.
Well, they kidnapped him.
Did they get that?
Yeah,
Oh,
remember
yeah.
handcuffs.
They knocked him out.
Then they asked him how he got down
Vulcan,
the handcuffs.
Vulcan,
That's
choked him
right.
or whatever. And
The handcuff joke was the line that I remembered. That's what.
But-
kicked me
so
in
this
line.
is such a good line.
It's a great line.
But also, yeah, as Collin was noting, when they knock him out, he has like a snappy line. He's like, "Oh, hey, baby," and he says something like that. I was like, "What?" He seems like really into it. He's like super enthused.
Yeah, but yeah, they did handcuff him. But then he was apparently asleep for the entire boat ride, which went around the globe 3 times according to the Indiana Jones style overlay map that they used.
Yeah, that was super weird. So, like, yeah, if all of you are familiar with Indiana Jones, you see the plane go and, goes from, like, location to location with this red dot mark. But instead, this version was more like, it's quirky. It was like the Nickelodeon version. Like, someone thought of that, but they're using their hand to move a boat.
Well, yeah, it was like a hand and a piece from a Battleship game.
Sure.
Yeah. And they were pushing it from the Atlantic Ocean somewhere through what I'm guessing was supposed to be the Panama Canal, but just basically through Mexico.
It looked like at some point in time, someone just rolled a boat across a map.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But so Tone Loc wakes up and he's out of his handcuffs, and they say, well, how'd you get out of your handcuffs? He said, well, I swallowed a key.
He's like, I have a key.
I have a key.
Like, we took your key.
We took your keys. Like, and I swallowed one on Tuesday. He's like, how did you know you're going to need one? He's like, I swallow one every Tuesday. And that is the line that I remembered from the first time I saw this, because that is an amazing line.
It really
And
is.
he highlights that he's super in. They're like, are we not in trouble? He's like, I'm in need of a vacation.
Yeah, he's like, this is great. This is way better than my shitty job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on a boat.
And there was a boat. Mm-hmm. A magical boat. Yeah, isn't this where they're leading their way to the caves? They're going to a cave, a Goonies-like cave.
The caves of Quansu.
Yeah. They're going to get some weapons. And I'm going to say this directly. Half those weapons suck, and I would not want to carry them all throughout a jungle.
Well, you know how they found the cave? A monkey stole the fucking Game Gear and showed Adam how to get in there.
How to diddle a statue.
He's like, you stick your finger right up the statue's butthole. And then that opens up the secret weapons cage.
Yeah, that's like the secret of the hidden temple, Nickelodeon style. That's exactly what you do. Buttholes and all.
All this time, they were just sticking fingers up buttholes, and I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I do want to comment real quick on the one thing about this movie that I remember. The only thing that I really, really, really remember is Zatch going off about how important the caves of Quansu are, and how they're going to have weapons that are so important that money can't buy them, and Rob Schneider just harping on we walked into a rubber tree but we couldn't cut it down because money cannot buy knives. And it's the one thing that I remember that I absolutely loved.
And these weapons don't really serve a huge purpose in the greater scheme of things.
No.
That's true.
Yeah, and Zatch, the weapons I said that kind of suck to begin with. At first, he has these like pole arms. He's just like holding them. He's like, we're in a spar in practice, but like these weapons are yours. They've got to trek through miles through a jungle. I don't want like a 4-foot weapon that I need to just like carry around. That is not what they choose. But again, there are many weapons that you can choose.
Right.
That would not be the one I would choose.
Well, and during all this sparring with the pole arms or whatever, this is where, what's the old kid?
Johnny,
he magically becomes a martial arts master in 90 seconds.
Well, he picks up a sword, and all of a sudden, my friend, he's got the glow.
He does have the glow.
Like another movie we might watch.
Did he get a glow up?
He did get a glow
That
up.
glow up.
if they had these magical weapons like this, when the island got taken over,
Right.
maybe
would've
the
been-
island would
exactly.
Well, they shouldn't have kept him in the fucking cave.
Yeah, it's not a great place to store things
No.
that you need immediately.
Yeah, so Johnny gets magical martial arts powers, and Adam gets a fucking Game Gear.
He's already had it. That's
It's
the
magic,
thing.
yeah.
Like he gets really no upgrade. Does he ever use a weapon from this cave that like really benefits him?
No.
No.
So cool stop at the cave.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the prophecy, though. The prophecy was that Johnny's the warrior and
Right.
Adam's the seer or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I think we should just like let's narrow it down Zelda style. Like we're going to this cave to get this one sword that you are inevitably going to choose. Not like we have an array of items. Come on down, Johnny. It's just like, dude, pick out the sword and like, can you use it? You can't. It's bolt.
Well, those weapons are for the others that they liberated earlier.
You're totally right. I think they should have narrowed it down because it's not like they go and they get their little army together. They don't come back to the cave to gather these weapons. They just leave all of them there.
Oh yeah, that's
Right.
right. Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, I was always bummed out when they were like giving their gifts. And then later, like Frodo and Sam are like, we're out of like llamas bread. I'm like, you couldn't have given them like 3 more
I know,
things of
this
llamas
is
bread. Like, like holy crap, elves! Like the importance of the mission. Like you've foreseen it. Like maybe tell your elven baker to be like, 2 more llamas bread. It's only gonna sustain them for a day a bite. So like maybe a couple more would be great. No.
Yeah.
Elven bakers don't work after midnight.
No.
No.
I've belittled the Keebler elves once before. Talking about tree people and living in trees. I know the caliber of elves we're working with. We'll deal with the complaints that come after this. But yes, this is when I wrote down the betrothed woman's name. It's Rome, which I think was said once.
Oh yeah, no one gives a shit about this.
Yeah, I thought I could like look this up. I was like, oh my god.
I have her written down here as girl
Yeah,
Yes.
she's just girl.
or bride.
I mean, Johnny's really like, yes, I'm into this, but yes, there's like no connection whatsoever. It is kind of weird.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to get married, and when they're walking through the jungle, she's like, "Hey, like, I know we're supposed to get married, but like, I don't even know if I want to get married. So like, let's just play it cool." And he's like, "Oh, but then she comes back. She's like, JK, we're still gonna bone though." And he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of respect this part a little bit because
Yeah,
at the
no.
beginning she was like, I'm totally going to marry you because it's her duty is,
yeah." She's becoming her own woman right now.
yeah. And, I think it still plays even today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I have like a really direct cut that another fight scene happens. Am I wrong on this?
No, there's a lot that goes on here. So, Adam.
Oh, they're going down the hill.
Adam rides Tone Loc down the hill like a sled.
That's right.
Because they fall because they're clumsy idiots and they get captured. And then everyone else falls down the hill on purpose and rescues them immediately.
Sometimes you got to fall down hills.
And they rescue other people
It's like
as
a
well.
moral.
So this is kind of where they're getting their posse from. Because they're rescuing a bunch of guys from these ninja soldiers.
Yeah.
These aren't ninjas. I think these are just guys with guns.
At this point in time, we have to just say they're not ninjas. They are pretty much mercenaries.
They're just, they're soldiers. So have we talked about Leslie Nielsen
We
or what
haven't.
his fucking deal is?
I don't think so. I think we kind of jumped over all of it.
Yeah, we did. He's the
Colonel?
Colonel
Chi.
Chi. Okay, and he's got like a robot hand and robot face because in a flashback he gets trampled by an elephant.
He does.
He can't get water on the hand and face.
Cannot.
That's established.
That is his weakness.
And he's, for reasons that are not really explained, he has like this torture room where he just has like a bunch of people in cages.
Yeah, it's like the Phantom of the Opera times 5.
Yeah.
There are people in cages in bubbling water. They look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, it's like a spa,
No one was like screaming out. It's usually like just people like literally just sitting in cages, kind of chilling.
Maybe he was just running a hot springs.
Yeah, you can take a mud bath.
Yeah, it looked really relaxed.
Yeah, some of them are just hanging there. It's supposed to look menacing, but it's rather funny when you realize that it's Leslie Nielsen in there.
Yeah, the thing is, Leslie Nielsen, in the greater scheme of things, is a total afterthought. This is more about like if this is more about like a villainous army like coming in, it would kind of make more sense, even if it was headed by someone. But it's kind of disjointed where like Leslie Nielsen is the like, I don't know, the leader or commander of this army.
Right.
Because he just looks like a nut job with like 5 weirdos in a cave.
Yeah.
But then later in the movie, he's like, I'm coming out with my Jeep, or like weird car. But
It
yeah,
was a Suzuki Samurai.
yeah, it's just like this seems like another weird building. Like, hey, we're making one movie, and if you want to make it, you're getting Rob Schneider and Leslie Nielsen. And I can see people being like, cool, but then the final product is like, we probably didn't get these people. Like everyone in the movie would have been probably better off if who was thought to be the stars were then like the biggest stars were actually just removed.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that.
I really like the Leslie Nielsen like call waiting gag.
Yeah,
With his telephone. That was good. You'll have to watch it to find out what I'm talking about, listeners. But it was great.
That is one of the things this movie handled really well. Was they did do great callbacks and repeating gags.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So back to they escaping from the soldiers. They do that, and then now they have this posse of people that they rescued, and they're like, we got to go storm Colonel Chi. We got to storm his island.
And Johnny gets a headband upgrade.
Yeah, he gets a new headband. They all get new headbands.
Yeah, when you get a new headband, I mean, +3 to stamina, +4 to strength. Your mana pool is expanded by 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as seen on the Game Gear.
There's a kind of heartfelt moment where Zatch is like, I think you had it in you, but now I know you have it in you, so I'm going to teach you the art of tie-dye.
Yeah, they tie-dye a bunch of headbands.
Also, you never want to tell another human being that you think they have it in you, and then I know you have it in you.
Oh, no, I just had a mic moment.
Yeah. So if you want to write us about isolated vocals on Collin or anything, if you want to drop a beat and get some background samples, we will license this out and we'll write up the contracts as long as we get some of the royalties.
Finally, I'm not the only one.
There you go.
I did it to myself.
Rabbit Troop sucks. Back of the shirt, quote unquote. Now I know you have it in you.
You're gonna get arrested everywhere.
Collin's married. Collin, maybe this is the sweet nothing you whisper to your wife later tonight. Like, now I know I have it in you. It was like 2 a.m. after we record this, and then Collin will send me a text, be like, I need to stay on your couch. And I'm not going to answer that text.
Yeah. This is how I end up on the sidewalk outside your house.
Mm-hmm. Nice. We need to get Rabbit Troop Sucks blankets. Okay. Sleeping bags.
Wow.
Anything the hobo on the go needs. Rabbit Troop Sucks shopping carts.
Nice.
But yeah, so they're gonna go to the island, but they make up some nonsense about there's like a reef or something, so you can't get a boat there. So they have to surf, guys.
Yeah,
I know, they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Finally, we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Hour in.
This is the one growth moment that Adam has in this entire movement where he can't see what he's doing on his Sonic Game Gear. He actually has to believe the power's in him. He stares at trees and then he sees the vision of surfboards.
He does. It is as powerful as Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade when he believes in himself to walk across to the temple. And I say that super sarcastically. It is not on par at all.
No, it's not like that at all.
No.
But they do. They fell, a decent sized rainforest to make surfboards.
I think this is another missed opportunity. I know I'm nitpicking this movie, but as I said before, that I wish the biggest thing I wish there was more in this movie, no joke, was surfing scenes. And I think Johnny is clearly the main character, and his brother, this Oracle. They have to do it together, but it is very clear that Johnny is the main character. I think Johnny probably needed to overcome something with surfing here. I think, yes, now he did something to unlock the sword and the power, but maybe earlier we should have seen there was some move he couldn't do on his surfboard, or he couldn't get the hang of something, but now that he believes in himself, he can unlock the island. I don't know. I'm going deep into
Johnny was good at everything he set out to do immediately.
That is very correct.
He had no character flaws. He did not have to overcome anything. He didn't learn anything.
That's not true. The only character flaw he had was he wasn't immediately badass.
Yeah, I'll say that.
He had to unlock badass.
No, it took a 18-second montage for him to be a master of martial arts.
When someone attacks you and then you just unlock ultimate power, I don't understand the problem with this.
I did notice transition of power through this movie. In the beginning, he was, I don't want to say that badass, but he was taking out ninjas. Like, he clearly knew some kind of martial arts.
He was helping out.
But now he's just complete badass.
Yeah.
And all it took was just maybe 2 or 3 montages.
But I understand it. I mean, this is how I play video games. I was telling Collin during our last recording off air that, Lamar, you and I specifically like to play punishing, platforming, side-scrolling games.
What the hell's wrong with us?
I don't know. but you and I, our tactic has always been, like, if you could power up, let's say, like, you normally have 10 hearts in a game. That's your life meter. Lamar and I are like, no. We're going to unlock 20. And when we go into, like, the last boss, this isn't like, ooh, can we? It's like, no, we've never used a power up. We are like true ultimate badasses. And I have like 17 reserve tanks if you even touch me. And then it's like boom, boom, boom. And like, credits roll and the kingdom was saved. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Well, we go in overkill. And that's the Johnny method.
Yeah.
Johnny's been saving it all up for this surf ninja moment.
That's very true. He
I
doesn't
should
struggle.
plural.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty convenient too that every ninja or soldier he faces is willing to just stand there and let him punch them. But yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice. He is royalty. You can't hit
Yeah,
royalty.
No.
that is the correct thing to do.
It's the proper move, yeah.
You just hit the queen.
But yeah, I mean, the rest of the movie is basically a martial arts showdown.
Yeah, the really fun scenes.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen is driving around, doing banana stuff.
Dressed as a samurai, driving a Suzuki samurai.
I did like that touch.
That was a good call.
The plugins speak for themselves. I mean, I'm sure we could go on YouTube and find out how well that did.
Yeah. The guy falling down the stairs and climbing back up gag landed really well for me.
Yeah, guy keeps getting just knocked up many steps.
Yeah. But he keeps crawling back up and getting knocked down again.
And 3 times is too many for me.
Yeah. And the last time he just gives up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's true.
So yeah, Leslie Nielsen rolls up. He's got the father. This is the first time we've seen the father in a hot minute. The father escapes, I think. Yeah, he escapes.
Yeah, father's okay.
Yeah, father's fine. But Leslie Nielsen shoots Zatch in the... We don't see where because there's no blood. But he
Just
shoots
does
him
a sweet
somewhere.
backflip, yeah.
Yeah. But he's fine. Don't worry about him. But now we have the real showdown, which is Johnny and Colonel Chi.
Yeah. And basically, it happens really quickly. And I'm trying to think, like, there is a bit of a tussle and Johnny starts to lose, but Adam is able to, through his Game Gear, control the mechanics all around things. So anything mechanical that Colonel Chi has, he's able to disarm.
Right, so he's fucking up his hand.
Yeah,
his robot hand.
and that's the big thing. And then Johnny pushes him into the water behind him and murders him. He murders Leslie Nielsen. And he does not come back because he is dead. He is never spoken about, and we watch a murder from a high schooler. I want to make this abundantly clear in this definitely guidance-suggested PG film. There's no swear words or anything, but I'm just like, I do want to make clear people have died all throughout.
There's no swear words, but Johnny has killed 40 people in this movie. But he's the king, so it's
Johnny's not taking shit.
I feel with a PG movie, if you build the evil up enough, you can get away with it.
This Johnny sweeping the leg nonstop. Boom.
You sweep his leg right into the death.
Yeah.
Another kind of goofy thing about this whole, invasion of the town, they spent, the last 15 minutes going to the Quansu Caves and getting this magical sword that, onto Johnny.
Oh, yeah. He just gives it
He
away.
immediately gives it to Rob Schneider, who
Yeah.
starts chasing soldiers around. And Zatch does the same thing. He comes in with the, I don't know what it's called. It's like the 3 sticks.
It's like a nunchuck
The
with
extra,
3.
extra
Yeah.
nunchucks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he beats
and
like 3 guys
He
with
beats
these-
up 2 guys
he
and then
drops it.
immediately drops it to kick some guy in the face. So it's like everyone who comes in with weapons immediately just drops them. And that's fine.
Don't need it.
Also, we forgot when Leslie Nielsen is being manhandled through the Sega Game Gear, there is a scene, as you guys alluded to, where he grabs his own crotch and, manhandles himself in a sexual way. So things get really weird. So after he sexually handles himself, that is when Johnny murders him. So quite right. That's how the court will see it. Like this man was doing sexual things, and I murdered him. They'll be like, "Yes, you did, son."
Now, to be fair, the murder wasn't. He didn't pull out a gun and like shoot him or anything. He just kicked him in water. I mean,
He didn't even kick him. He poked him gently on the forehead.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
And he just fell in the water. And it was
that-
the water that killed him.
and then immediately we get a celebration, and Johnny and Adam are now the kings of the land, and he's like, "I'm going to dismantle the monarchy, and it belongs to the people." And I'm sure all these people don't know what he's saying, but they're all happy. And the guy from the beginning that they made fun of, Bob Aran, he's back, and he's like, "You guys are hilarious." And this is what I noted: where's Tone Loc? Where's Tone Loc?
Yeah.
He was probably there somewhere.
Is he?
No, I don't know.
He's probably in the background.
Yeah.
The concern is that Tone Loc was really banking on them being king and prince to this island so that he could stay there for a while, and they immediately got rid of it. So he was probably screwed.
They probably had a room for him somewhere.
I would assume if they were like they get the farewell, like there's like the grace period. Where it's like, whoa, these people just gave it to us and they're leaving. Yeah, they could stay in our hotel for 5 days.
Yeah.
British style monarchy where they they don't really have any power, but they still
Right.
come up with a ton of money.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, like we're gonna comp your room service, Schneider, boom. You know how to do it, Home Alone 2 style. And you can stay in our hotel for 5 days. And when you come back, guys, anytime you want to stay with us, 10% off.
Oh, what a deal.
For watching you and your family, 10%.
Yeah.
That does not include the airfare. You're on your own with that.
Yeah.
And the boats to get here. Good luck with that. Also not included.
Yeah.
But our hotels and our island fruits, 10% off.
Continental breakfast, nothing hot though.
Duty free shop, 4% off.
Okay. But yeah, well, they sing Barbara Ann again
And they do.
in its entirety. And then we're treated to a Marky Mark song.
Yeah. Oh, you guessed. Guesting. Marky Mark guests.
Something featuring-
Pandemonium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who you cannot Google.
No.
It's
Yeah.
That's
not a real
impossible.
person. Yeah.
Good.
You can't get
Good.
through the online wave of vibrations. Boom. Take that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Feel it. Feel it.
I do. I'm doing it now.
Yeah. Don't Google any of these things.
But you can't see. I'm sexually handling myself right now.
God damn it.
I don't like that. I'll push you in the water.
That's my.
Someone get a Game Gear.
That's what I wanted.
I need a priest and a Game Gear.
And that's the end of this.
God damn.
We did it.
Yeah, if you didn't think, I mean, welcome to the summer. As I said, Denver and I guess the rest of the world. We did it. We surf ninjas. We surfed there. Before we go through our final synopsis, feel free to write us at any point in time at rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Instagram or Facebook. Go to our website proper, rabbittroopsucks.com. There are often sales on t-shirts and stuff. I mean, we just have our products, but if you ever go there, I saw that recently there was like percentages off. So
Yeah, there's deals.
yeah, it's not really through us. So just head there or see our pictures. Collin, your picture is up there.
All right.
There's pictures. Everyone should see this.
Who doesn't like a sale?
Yeah, Colin's
Yeah.
picture is cool. My wife said it looked like your cat, and I won't spell it for anyone. Just go to our website. It looked like your cat was one of the soot sprites from Spirited Away. That's what it looked like next to you.
She is a shoulder cat for sure. Yeah.
It was awesome. So yeah, final synopsis of Surf Ninjas. I'm gonna let Collin go last. I'm just gonna go in first.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. As I said, I thought it was a lot of fun. The PG stretches its limits at the end. I really like the martial arts scenes. There's definitely missed opportunities, and it's very clear Hollywood did some weird stuff to make this movie happen in their minds, and I do think that was their failings. But going back, 30 years out of this movie probably gets a lot more bad press. Rob Schneider doesn't really serve a purpose in this. Does have some fun lines, but it didn't necessarily need to be Rob Schneider. It doesn't really add anything to this. Kind of the same with Leslie Nielsen. But I had fun. Lamar, Mike.
Yeah, this was fun for me. I didn't remember anything about this movie aside from that one Tone Loc line, but I had a blast watching it. It's short. It's kind of fun. It's pretty stupid. I nothing to complain about here for me.
That's surprising. We really thought.
No, I know.
Well, I mean, so I think the thing is that I think it has a relatively cohesive story, even though there are obviously huge issues with it.
Of course.
It at least was linear.
Yeah.
So I think that's 80% of Mike issues resolved.
Well, I am a fairly well-renowned hater, but no, this movie didn't insist upon itself. It was there. It was having a good time. It wasn't really trying to be anything that it wasn't, and that's where I'm fine with it. Yeah,
pretty much stole my review. I
There
feel
you
the
go.
same way about that. It has Rob Schneider humor and Leslie Nielsen humor in it. It's kind of a weird combination of humors all meshed into one. It's weird 90s humor. It's a kids movie, kind of. I feel
maybe.
I don't know if it's a family movie or not. It's more of a, geez, I don't know how to put it. It's stupid fun, I will say.
All the murders that I noted, like kind of joking throughout this, I mean, clearly I think they could be comparable to Star Wars. You see stormtroopers die, various other things. But the Leslie Nielsen ending, that dude is straight up killed. Like, that one is a little more like, dude, you just killed that guy.
Paul, it's not about the killing. It's about family.
I love you, man, boy. I love you, Astron 6.
There was a lot of murders and deaths in this movie, but it's playful. It's not. Does this feel like I don't want to say a Disney movie to anyone?
I feel this feels like an international film, really trying to be like, I want a bigger budget to like spread word of our culture. How do we do this? And Hollywood's like, I know how we're going to do this. One, Sega and
With
Diet
Leslie
Coke.
Nielsen.
And Leslie Nielsen are going to bankroll this
That's
to
true.
the end.
Sure, yeah.
And people are like, what the hell is
It's
going
like
on?
it was that, and then they built some talent around it. Leslie Nielsen, Tone Loc, get some people in there and see if they can get some money out of this movie. I also feel that this movie is kind of a vehicle for, what was the actor's name? Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah.
I think it's a vehicle or a launch pad for his career. And
Well-
I don't think it really even took off.
No.
Yeah.
But it's a good intro. I mean, he's good enough. He's not like the powering leading man that you want in a movie, but
Honestly, he's fine. I mean, within the context of this movie,
Yeah.
and no one being a very good actor, he is
he is
doing
perfect.
Yeah.
But as far as a career afterwards, I can't see it unless it's Surf Ninjas 2, Surf Ninjas 3, Surf Ninjas 4.
How many Surf Ninjas are there?
I
This
don't
is it.
know.
Yeah, there's one surfing. We watched it.
This is it?
Yeah.
It's not like
Damn.
3 ninjas where there's
18
multiple.
of them or whatever, yeah.
There was this movie in 2021 called Finding Ohana, and that I'm going to compare this to because I think this movie's trying to celebrate like a culture. And in Finding Ohana, it's like in Hawaii, and it is very similar to Goonies. And the actor who plays Short Round does have a cameo in it, but it's definitely not like a Goonies ripoff. It's just like there are rumors, there are things. But it didn't really rely on any major actor. And I feel, again, I'm going to keep defending that this movie got Hollywood-ified, and I think that's his problem. Even though I liked
agree
it.
with that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I totally agree with Lamar. I think a big chunk of what the purpose of this movie was maybe to promote Ernie Reyes Jr. I think if you look at the fight scenes, his ability to fight was obviously way more advanced than
Oh, yeah.
anyone else in this movie. He
Definitely.
had like the best moves.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't use as many weapons as Ernie Reyes Sr., they were pretty quick to take off his shirt.
I was going to
throw
make
down
a
some
comment about that.
sweet moves. But yeah, no, I mean, I was a little hesitant. I don't think I liked it as much as I did as a kid, but I think it still held up. It's just, hey, if we're just going to sit down and watch a fun movie, I think it was still super fun. I think it held up. There wasn't anything like, for a movie that was made in the 90s that you're watching in 2023. Nothing was super problematic, really. Still super fun. I loved it.
Unless Quimby's is horrible.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
know.
that's true. I guess there's totally a bunch of things that could be problematic.
Verdict's still out on that.
This is eventually like, honest to God, Mike, like 20 years from now, someone's going to hear this and be like, did this guy just say
man.
Quimby's?
Okay, well, let's
Mayor Quimby from The Simpsons?
That's what it's in hashtag it and let's see what comes out.
Yeah.
Quimby's?
Oh man.
So I totally looked it up
Fantastic.
while we were watching it too.
Okay.
And, so the Urban Dictionary basically has like the two different sections. There's the, relating to Quimby, is a doofy mayor in The Simpsons, and then there's the Faceless Goons, which was directly a reference to Surf Ninjas. So there's zero help there.
So maybe that was like an ad-libbed line. Maybe Quimby's isn't really
Maybe
a
something
thing.
we could use in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back.
Okay.
Yeah,
30 years later, we're bringing it back.
All right.
Who, in what recent movie have we seen that we could use like a Quimby? Like, go back, listeners. Like, what can we bring up recently that we've done? Like, that guy's a real Quimby.
I bet there's a bunch of Quimby's back there.
The guy in the cave and Man and his dog was a real Quimby.
All of the outsiders from No Escape.
Oh yeah,
Bunch of fucking Quimby's.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. That's the big doof bags who are working with Judge Reinhold and vice versa.
Oh, those guys are major
Putzes,
Quimby's.
total Quimby's.
Yeah.
Oh
God,
my
you guys did
god.
a Judge Reinhold movie. I have a perfect Judge Reinhold scene that I think you guys need to see.
Let's talk about that.
Off air,
Yeah.
we could make
Ooh,
this
okay.
happen. Yeah. So don't be a Quimby and keep listening to the show. And don't let your friends be Quimbys in any of this and make it happen. Coming up next, 1988. Wait, before I say it, this was brought up in the 50th episode. Mike and Lamar, both you said, I said, what do you want going forward? And you said, I want some 80s action.
I did.
And damn it, we're here. 1988, Action Jackson.
It's right in the title.
Dear
Yeah.
sweet mother
You
Lord.
can't get more action than Action Jackson.
Yeah.
And we're going to be bringing it to you. And I'm hoping this summer we get a little mix of some action films, maybe some weird, blockbuster film. We don't know. I mean, Mike's noted that No Escape was supposed to be a bigger film, maybe something like that. I have another surf movie idea, but let's get those action movies going. Action movies.
That's very true. Summer action movies too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Jackson
Explosions.
is my middle name.
Collin was destined to be here critiquing Action Jackson. Yeah.
Get car chases.
Have all of you guys seen this? Have you seen this?
No,
Collin?
I've never
No,
seen it. I've
I don't
never
think I
heard of
have.
it.
I don't think so either.
Wow.
So this is gonna be
Yeah,
good.
we're all going in fresh.
Because I said I have seen clips of this, but I have never seen the entirety of this. But I did say, and I'll bring it when we record, the idea that I had was, or the memory I have is, I remember thoroughly like a punchline that was said in the preview to this film. Super weird memory to have be like the joke of like this action film, but we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to watch it. And it's super weird summer. And we did it. We did it, everybody. We got through it. I hope everyone feels good.
I do. I feel great.
Honestly excited to watch any 80s action movie that I haven't seen in the past. I'm open.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll get it going. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for sticking around. As always, Rabbit Troop sucks. And yeah. Anything else anyone wants to add to that?
No.
Rabbit Troop.
Rabbit Troop does suck. Yeah.
Mike just seems angry about it.
No, I would never be.
No. No, Rabbit Troop sucks.